Hi there, I'm Reverend Ken Kimiywe, the Deputy Bishop of Christ is the Answer Ministries, and I also serve as the Senior Pastor at CITAM Buruburu. I'm glad that you have joined us on this series that we are doing entitled The Roadmap to Marriage. As we said earlier in our first series, that this is a journey which many people fumble around. In fact, it has been said that we prepare for everything else in life apart from when we are about to get married. That's when we don't want to get any advice. That's when we don't want to inquire and get information that will prepare us for marriage. And so I believe this series will come a long way in helping you understand what are your obligations, what are some of the precautions that we should take even as we prepare for marriage. In our first series, we talked about what we would call the cloud nine, where it's boyfriend and girlfriend relationship. And we said that there is need for us, and I stress that, not to just walk alone in this journey. If you could have an accountability partner, if you could have a mentor walking with you along the way, they can guide and direct you. In other words, you are at the point of making a decision that will be until death do your part. And so you don't want to rely on your own, intuition or your own incentives, but you also want to just make sure that I'm going out with the right person and that I'm walking with somebody who values me and is able to go into life together with me. This then brings us to the next stage. After you two have come out of cloud nine and now you have realized that matters are serious, you begin what we call the courtship stage. The courtship stage is where now you have narrowed down. Probably earlier on you may have been dating 2-3 people, but now you are very serious with this particular person and you are saying now we want to begin a journey that will culminate into marriage. And so what do? You probably at this stage want to sit down and just talk about each other's life in a deeper way, where you go for a cup of tea or you walk in the garden or into the park, and you want to just talk about, so what are your expectations about life? What do you think you want to see in a husband or a wife? And usually, again, around this time, opportunity just to interface a little bit more closely. Now that you have narrowed down to this particular person and you want to even spread a little bit more, get to know some of their family members, probably get to know who their friends are. And as I said earlier on, you may want to also just know this person, what stage in their life are they in? Are they students, or are they people who have just started working, or probably who are much older in life? And so even as you come into their life, you want to be cognizant that there is a stage in which they are in, because each stage of life has got its own challenges. For those of us who are just beginners, money is not one of those easy coming things. For others of us who are already settled in a job, you may want to look at your job schedules. Maybe somebody is working out of town, is in Kisumu, and you are here in Nairobi. You may want to reorganize your program in such a way that you can conveniently find time when the two of you can just talk about life. Talk about what are your plans, what are your aspirations, what are some of the things that you just want the other person to know about you, so that even as you move into life together, they don't say they didn't know about it. Now, I call that the stage of disclosure. Disclosure simply means if you have come into that relationship and you had an ex that you need to get rid of, probably that is the time you may want to talk about it and how you are moving on from that kind of a life. Or probably it is the time when you want to just talk about, this is my career and, this is where I'm headed to. I want to study or continue growing myself in my career. You want the other person to know what are you doing in life? Where are you? And so that they can know how to come in and be with you in the life that you are asking them to join you into. Probably that is the time you may also want to disclose certain skeletons that may be in the closets. In other words, you don't want to get this person to the altar when they do not know whether you are alone or you are coming with other people who are called by your name. I hope you understand what I'm saying. That is the time you want to talk about if you have a child out of wedlock, or you have had surgery or certain condition in your body that this person needs to know about you, so that even as you go into life, they are not going to discover certain things that they ought to have known before they get into marriage. It has been said you would rather abort a courtship than abort a marriage. And it's simply because at that time you have yet to make final commitments and you have yet to make final declarations about your life. It is a time of getting to know each other. It's a time of growing in your relationship with one another. And I pray that during this time, certain things that you may also want to put in consideration is the boundaries. Do not be overly exposed to one another in such a way that you go before God. You know, you go ahead of God. What I'm talking about is how you interact with one another. You want to give each other the psychological space that you need. Don't protrude into each other's emotional space that might cause people to fall into sin. You want to, again, as I said, when you date and when you go out, do it not in privacy or in dark places that could easily make you fall into sin. And I know that many people, just before they got married, they got themselves into a very precarious position where they found themselves expecting a baby. Now, you don't want that to happen with you. So you're good friends, but not yet until the pastor says, now you're husband and wife. And so this is the courtship stage. I pray that you'll enjoy that time because it's a time of just relaxing and finding each other in the relationship. May God bless you. And now, as you join with us on any of the platforms, whether it is on Twitter or on Facebook or on WhatsApp or even on YouTube, we are there. You can exchange ideas with us. You can ask any questions. And we here on CITAM Church Online will be more than glad to assist you. God bless you and enjoy your courtship.